republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need a motion to adopt the agenda, please.
So moved.
Rick?
Second.
Michelle, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Moving on. Motion to approve the minutes from April 4th. It was our special meeting.
So moved.
Melissa?
Second.
Rick? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Moving on. Okay, our presentations, we're going to have Dr. Semmel start.
Yeah, we've got a number of presentations today. All of them are very exciting. We're going to start with some trips that you guys had approved last year, and they went out, and now the folks are back to talk about them. We actually have two students, I believe, Isabella Green and Diana Geronimo, who will be talking about the trip to France and Spain, correct? And I believe you guys have a video that you
Sure we do.
all right, so you guys are going to talk to us about your trip across the Atlantic. I know Miss Erickson wanted to be with you, but something kept her from being here. But she was very comfortable that the two of you would do a fabulous job.
Yes, I will, yes. So I think, speaking for everybody, the trip was really fun, all as a group together especially. I think the most important part and most fun part was touring with our tour guide Eduardo. And he just took us everywhere, like,
She's making heart shapes behind you. Apparently she loved the tour guide.
Yeah, seeing all the main sites like the Eiffel Tower and Notre Dame, even just the town themselves as we went to non-major towns such as like Carcassonne, like we just loved it all and loved seeing everything that was there. And then the activities that we did, such as the bike ride and even like the flamenco night and everything, was really nice to see.
It was a great atmosphere overall. We literally went through the entire trip, no problems. It was like, the weather was great. All our three chaperones, they were awesome. They had the perfect mix of strictness, keeping us in check, and also just having a great time. And it really, I think all of us took individual things from it, but as a group, we really got a different perspective of the world. We saw that not every place is terrible, Connecticut, and all together, it was a really great experience, and I think it kind of inspired probably everyone on the trip to travel in the future. I know at least me, it made me think.
Like being in Barcelona, I was like, wow, I could spend a whole semester here, and it's just, it was really great. Yeah. Bree was there too. I mean, Bree can talk if you want.
Bree, anything else to add?
I really like the flamenco night because I'm a dancer, so I got to see a whole nother genre of tapping. So I get to use that genre and expand my dancing. So I like to do that because in the future I hope to be a rockette. So I need tapping. So it was great.
We have the video? Oh, yeah, Senorita took videos the entire time. That was her job, was to document everything, so.
the main square of everything that may come together.
What?
Do it again.
Oh, good.
Adiós, Europa.
Bye, Spain. Sí, adiós, España, mi amor.
I promise you that's only a fraction of all
Yeah,
the
definitely does.
There was a lot of food.
Oh my god, no, you don't understand. There was so much food.
So much food. And those are just the dinners.
Did you guys try the crawfish?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah,
dish.
that
I
was
had
the
that. It was the,
paella.
yeah, the paella. It was so good.
Yeah.
Thanks, girls. Any questions or comments for the girls? Or for Brie? Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time.
Yeah.
And if Senorita were here, she'd say she's already prepping for Reese.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes.
Well, thank you for coming out and sharing. It seemed like a great experience for you guys, so that was awesome. So
Thank you.
thank you. We also sent a group out to Virginia Beach, Mr. Keene and the music program, so we've asked Mr. to come up. I don't know if he has some folks with him as well to present their trip
Good
down to
evening,
Virginia.
everyone. The Virginia Beach trip was a huge success, and our kids did a fabulous job, and two of them are here tonight, Wade Emke and Avery Thayer.
Hi. So we went down to Virginia Beach. It was pretty amazing. We had a really, really good time, and this is a little slideshow that we have put together. So this bus was our transportation on the trip, and it was a new 55-passenger luxury coach bus. DATCO was selected because of its excellent vehicle and driver safety rating. For day one was a travel day. Our destination was the Best Western Sandcastle Plus Hotel. It's located on the world-famous Virginia Beach Boardwalk, and all students enjoyed oceanfront rooms.
Nice.
The top left picture was our pool that we were able to go in. The one below was the view of our rooms, which was pretty amazing. The bottom right was our hotel lobby, and top right was our balcony view, which was probably one of our favorite parts to it. On the way, we crossed the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, and it's one of the 7 engineering wonders of the modern world. Our first night, we had reservations at Fishbone's Restaurant and enjoyed an all-you-can-eat buffet on the beach.
Hi. Day 2, we were the beginner performance at Busch Gardens. And these are some pieces that the choir performed. And next is what the band performed. These pictures right here is us getting ready for our performance. And here we are marching into the entrance, looking good as per usual. And showtime, we played right in the entrance of Busch Gardens. Everyone did beautifully. And we were invited to perform at Busch Gardens after passing a vigorous application process. Cherryville High School Band and Choir performed beautifully. Our hard work was rewarded, and we had a blast at Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens is famous for their world-class roller coasters. Picture above is a group of students and chaperones going Mach 1 on the Griffin. And as you can see in the middle, Mr. Keene clinging on for dear life. Well, it was a pretty fast roller coaster.
For day 3, we enjoyed a dolphin cruise and an adventure park, which personally was my favorite day. We enjoyed a perfect morning on the ocean and saw lots of bottlenose dolphins up close, and these pictures were actually pictures that students were able to capture on their phones. The adventure park was a thrilling experience. It was definitely a little scary, but we conquered our fears, and in the bottom right corner, in the white t-shirt, you could see that was our bus driver, Clive, and he is definitely the best bus driver we've had, as he joined us on our many experiences on this trip. For dinner, we went to Dave & Buster's for an all-you-can-eat buffet and an arcade. And then it was back to the hotel for our last night on the boardwalk, and we did not want to leave, so what we ended up doing is spending our last night taking pictures on the boardwalk.
And unfortunately, day 4 was our final day. It was our travel day heading back home. And I'll tell you, long bus rides are more fun with friends. Finally, Virginia Beach trip was a huge success. The music students at Terryville High School represented our community in a positive way with our outstanding musical performance and our positive behavior. We take with us a stronger bond together and a lifetime of shared memories of Virginia Beach 2018. Thank you to the Board of Education for your strong support of Mr. Keene's efforts and to provide the best performance experiences for our musical students.
Do you have any questions or comments for the kids? Congratulations, I'm so glad.
Yeah, it's like a lot of fun. Great job.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
Mr. Keene, how'd you do on that ride, though? I really want to know.
In a public environment, I'd rather not say.
It's always, I always get a little jealous when I get to see all that. Well, there's kids having a great time and fun, but I'm glad that the board can offer the students those opportunities. All right, so we're going to continue to move along with our presentations, and I see board members getting up and moving to their spots. We have a great success this year, and I know, Ms. Johnson, you want to speak a little bit about this as well.
Yes.
You're going to start, I believe.
I guess I should start now.
Yeah.
I'll just go here. So I just want to personally say I am absolutely thrilled, so proud of Diana Aramo. She is the Leo of the Year for the state of Connecticut, and without a doubt, she deserves it. I'm so proud because I've known her a long time, but I just want to say thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
So yeah, what I want to say about the Connecticut Leo of the Year is we received notice. I know Miss Pascas, who works with the Lions and is liaison between the Lions Club and the Leo Club, and worked with Mr. Perkins, and we just have such a great Leo organization in this town. It's one of the largest in the state of Connecticut, and being a small town and having one of the largest groups is something that's fantastic. And Diana's taken a strong leadership role, has done fabulous work with the Leos, and it's being noticed. My understanding is that she's also been entered maybe into the World program, and I don't know where we stand in that process, but a lot of hard work goes into when somebody becomes a Leo of the Year. It's not just an individual. There's lots of other people who make that Leo Club what it is. So congratulations to the entire leadership of the Leo Club and the adults who participate in that as well. But Diana, we wanted you to come on up and get this small token of the board's appreciation for your achievement.
Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, you have to stand next to her.
Or in front of us would be even better.
Your mom.
good? You good?
She's like, yeah, well,
Why you walked in? I was like, I walked in.
Yeah. Diana had no idea we were going to do a little celebration here at the board.
oh, we have another picture.
All right. I didn't put them out in any particular order, but. So we also are here tonight to do what we call the 212 Awards. We created this a few years back. It's called the Plymouth 212. And it really comes from the fact that when water is 211 degrees, it's just really hot water. But with one extra degree, one little extra bit of effort, that water boils. And obviously, boiling water can do a lot in terms of even, powering a steam train. So we have such a hardworking, tremendous staff that every day come to work to do the best that they can for our students, that we wanted to create this award for any staff member can earn this, and highlight 4 staff members a year that are nominated by staff for giving the extra effort, for giving that extra degree, and really trying to make the school system the best that it can possibly be. So we have 4 terrific people who are being recognized tonight. And I think I did this in alphabetical order. But what we're going to do is we're going to embarrass these people by saying some really nice things about them. And then we have these very nice, what would you call them? Awards. That's what you would call them.
What's that? They look like flames.
They look like flames, yes, which is kind of cool. So we're going to start with, so when you get called, we actually want you to come up here, receive your award, and then you're going to stand here and be embarrassed for a while. And the first person will actually stand up here for the longest because you're going to stay up here while the rest of them all get embarrassed. So you know how it's always been good in school to be early in the alphabet? In this case, Tammy, it's going to be, a little bit against you because you'll be standing up here. But the first person that we're highlighting tonight is Miss Tammy Card. And we've asked Ms. Trink to say a few words, but there's certainly a lot of other people who could also talk about Tammy. But I'm going to hand it over to Barbara to embarrass Tammy.
So it's my turn to embarrass Tammy. Okay. And a lot of the words that I'll be using are the words that actually are being used by the people who know her the best. Tammy's only been with us for about a year and a half. And I'll give you first just some words and phrases that were used by the staff when they nominated her. Professionalism, strong communication, organized, personal connections. And this one I really, really liked because this is important when you have so many adults and students in your room. A calmness. When you can stay calm with all that going around you, that speaks well of you. So I took a few sentences from this award essay that was written. One is that multitasking is definitely her forte, and that's all in caps or all in dark print and underlined, because you have to be able to do that and do it well in a program like that. And of course, there's the one about going above and beyond for her students daily, which we see every day. The one that I really found the most interesting, though, was that she definitely brings out the best in every one of her students. And it must be her paraprofessionals, too, because if you can see the application, it was signed by all 10.
Can I just say something? If I would have had an option, I would have signed it too, just saying.
So congratulations, Tammy. And we're just going to ask you to stand up here, like I said, and we're going to continue to honor the other 3 folks. The next person is from Plymouth Center School. She's one of our fabulous paraprofessionals, and her name is Darlene Oaks. And we have asked Ms. Collins, the principal of Plymouth Center School, to come on up and embarrass you a little bit, darling.
Which, just for the record, is not hard to do. So, we had some of our teaching staff speak on behalf of Darlene, but I have a few of my own comments I'd like to make. When they talked about Darlene, they talked about how she goes above and beyond every day as well. And that she takes care of students from the moment they get off the bus. She makes sure they have breakfast, she makes sure they have clothing, she makes sure they have everything they need, whether they be students who are assigned to her care officially or just students that she notices may have some needs. And she does it quietly and without waiting for recognition. She has good instincts and she knows what children need. She emphasizes manners and how to work together. She talks about working cooperatively, and I have some of my own things that are going on lots here. One of the things that she does every morning when she comes into the office and sees the staff is that she always stresses the positive. We're going to have a good day. It's going to be a good day. I love my job. And it's important for us to try to emphasize those things, especially on the hard days. Traits I would mention, she's skilled, she's consistent, she's firm, but she's loving all at the same time. She happens to be an extraordinary baker. And she happens to use those baking skills to bring comfort and cheer to the adults, sometimes even sneaking favorite ones to adults who might need them at just the right time. So that's our Darlene.
Well, that's funny that you say that, because I actually understood, and I saw them smirking over here, our technology guys. I understand that they make it a point on Fridays to stop by Plymouth Center School. Now, I was not aware of this, and I'm embarrassed I'm finding out late, but I'm happy that I'm finding out, because I'm going to probably spend a lot of Friday mornings over at Plymouth Center School as well. But congratulations to you as well. The third person we're going to call up tonight is one of our techies, our tech specialist, which is Connor Raymond. So, Connor, where are you? I'm not sure I've ever seen Connor in a tie yet. Maybe I've missed it, but Connor, you're looking really good tonight. And we've asked Mr. Trudeau to talk about Connor.
My pleasure.
I was waiting for this.
Let's see, I think I've known Connor for going on 12 years, plus or minus. He was a student of mine when I was teaching here. He took some computer classes. He hasn't changed. He got a little taller. He got a little taller. But what I'm referring to is, even in high school, I recall, he had a desire, a hunger to learn, explore, and he always had like the same smile he carries now. You know, he was having fun. He had a calmness. And again, these are traits that I still see in him today. And he makes up a big chunk of our team. I think the guys would agree he plays a major role with us. He takes ownership. These are some of my observations. He's enthusiastic. He sees the whole picture. You can ask him, I always say, see the whole picture. Who's impacted? What's going to happen? He does it. Show him something once, he's off and running. I know when something has to get done, Connor will take care of business. I have some other comments about Connor. Let's see. He's patient, discreet, good teacher. kind of had to read this one a couple of times, but a good joke teller. Oh, the pain. I mean, I think Dr. Semmel, if you don't mind, I'm going to add a line to his year-end performance, joke telling, meets expectations.
Meets expectations. He's punny.
Yeah.
He's very punny.
Connor's a kind, dependable, flexible individual, always willing to go the extra mile. From over on our town side, we assist the town tech. They like to express their appreciation to Connor for all the assistance he's provided. They wish they could clone him. And actually, that's not a bad idea. And they were more than happy to share their thoughts with us. Connor's always there. Regardless of the situation, he always handles me with a great deal of patience and respect. Some of these things you can't teach. They're innate. He is awesome, all caps. He's extremely knowledgeable, efficient, pleasant, and hardworking. Agree with that. So, Connor, we value your knowledge. We value your input, your teamwork, your drive, and your calmness. And you will be successful wherever you go.
He is the most calm because I am so computer illiterate, and he's so calm when he's trying to help me with an iPad. I'm like, Connor, I don't get it. He's like, I can get you. Thank you.
I also used to think that because I was a superintendent, if I put a ticket in, Connor was there just because I was a superintendent. But then I found out he gives the same high level of service as they all do, no matter what. I was like, oh, I thought I had some sort of extra special power, but I was wrong. But congratulations, Connor. And our final, but certainly not least, recipient of this award is Miss Phyllis Warhunski. Phyllis, of course, is our principal at Fisher Elementary School. I think she might have 28 days, somebody said to me. Is that accurate? I'm sure that pains her a little bit. I don't mean to do that. And like Connor, she's someone who doesn't like the limelight either. So, yeah, you'll have to hide behind your award a little bit. But we've asked two of your staff members, because I felt they needed two people to make sure they got the full thing. But we've asked Corey Mazon and Nicole Levesque to come on up and embarrass you a bit more.
It's like deja vu right now. I think people are getting tired of hearing us speak.
We nominated Phyllis for this award because she's an amazing leader who always puts others before herself. She's humble, kind, compassionate, and always makes decisions in the best interest of our children. She goes above and beyond for our teachers, students, and community. Phyllis is dedicated to supporting an open door policy and is always available for advice, questions, or just to listen. She does everything she can to let teachers know that she appreciates her. As much as she would do for her teachers, in return, the teachers would do anything to support her. She puts the students at FES first. She works tirelessly to ensure our school is the best learning environment it can be. She's a warm and welcoming principal who supports all students' learning by providing any needed supplies to classrooms, often as an anonymous donor. Phyllis always thinks of unique ways to show our students how much she appreciates them and their hard work.
Our community is very important to Phyllis. She has worked hard to cultivate a warm, inviting culture at FES that is welcoming to families and community members. There are so many initiatives that she's implemented to support everyone in our community. Phyllis makes it her mission to ensure everyone knows that she values them. She truly loves what she does each and every day. Her love of this work is evident in her selflessness and generosity, as well as her commitment to our school. We think that her hard work and dedication exceeds 212 degrees.
do. Sorry. I just want to say I had an opportunity to speak at her retirement party, so I won't say too much, but 20 years is a long time, and thank you for getting my children through. I appreciate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the entire board come up for pictures, and then I'm going to go into a recess right now. So can I have a motion for a recess?
So moved.
All right. Thank you. All in favor? I'd like to resume the Board of Education meeting at 7:51. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed?
Who seconded it?
Melissa.
Melissa?
All right, superintendent's update. All right, so for tonight's superintendent's update, I'm actually going to be turning it over to a number of people. So I'm actually going to start with Mr. Melnick, and he's going to talk to you about a couple of different items around food and our building use. So Mr. Melnick.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Recently, the state changed the food program to include, it's the free and reduced program, to include people who were on Husky and some other plans. What that did was, as you know, every community has a free and reduced program, and they participate at different rates. It raised the rate for the two elementary schools to 33 and 49% eligibility. And the state guideline is at 40%, you can combine a couple of schools, we could participate fully. So tonight we're just sharing information, and in June, Holly or whatever will be here to give us a presentation. But we will have the opportunity to make both elementary schools a free and reduced program 100%. On May 17th, there's a conference call that we're going to have with the state to understand fully what that means to us. And then we'll be running some financial analysis to see what that looks like. But it's possible that you could put both elementary schools on that program, which would mean that every child that attends would be eligible for a free reduced lunch. One thing I did want to say is if the community decides not to do that, there's also a guideline about pricing for the meals. And what the state sets it up is so you can't charge less than the state reimburses you on the free and reduced program. Right now in the middle schools, the price is $2.70. If we don't go that option, free and reduced, we would be asking the board to consider raising the price at the middle school to $2.80 for a meal. The free and reduced program also applies to the breakfast program. Any questions on that? I know there's a lot there, and in June you'll get the full, full presentation for the program, but we wanted to at least put that out there and have a discussion.
Okay.
The question that I have is that now, doesn't matter what type of income you have concerning free and reduced lunch. So if it's 100% for the elementary schools, then no matter what you make, those kids, every single child, be afforded a free or reduced lunch.
That's correct.
Well, I understand it's not free and reduced; it's just free.
Free. Yeah, I throw the term
because
out
I was
there
gonna,
because that's kind of the
I was gonna kind of ask, how do you get the reduced price?
Yeah, just a free lunch.
All right, so free
and
lunch.
breakfast.
But that's just for the main hot lunch meal, correct?
That's correct.
All right, that
And
doesn't
breakfast,
include.
if I'm correct.
You're thinking about the a la carte stuff?
Yeah, that doesn't include the a la
Separate,
carte
yeah.
stuff.
Does not.
All right. Well, just for clarification, because
Yeah.
some parents might think that their child will be able to go and get a salad or a wrap or something.
In elementary school, do they have that kind of an a la carte though? I think they have the ice cream. That's a la carte.
Well, you could consider the milk a la carte, but I mean, it's not like the high school where they have,
Yeah.
if you go in there, they have all sorts of a la carte items. You're correct.
And how come it doesn't go to the middle school and high school?
Because the rate, the current rate of free and reduced doesn't hit the needed threshold, 40%.
There was an article in the Bristol Press, if you're interested. I have a copy if you'd like to look at it, and it talks about Bristol and how many schools they're doing. And I know that Waterbury's been doing it for a long time. I know all the kids in Waterbury get free lunch, so I have it if anybody's interested in looking at it later.
In most of the communities across the state saw a large increase when they reformatted the program, including this community.
Well, it probably brings nutritional value too to the elementary school students, so that everybody gets breakfast and so-called lunch, no matter the demographics of the amount of money that your parents make or don't make. So there's not a child that doesn't get charged. If you look at it from that aspect.
Right, so we're not bringing a recommendation tonight. We just wanted to kind of put this on your radar. Once that phone call happens on May 17th, we'll be able to bring something much more specific to you in June. But wanted to get you thinking about it.
Diane?
For the elementary kids, would they still have the option to bring their own?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Great question. Yeah, they would. They don't have to participate. They have the.
And it can be a day-to-day, you know, if they want the pizza but don't want the meatloaf, then, yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
And you're going to continue on with the second part? The rate structure, you were going to talk quickly about the rate structure. Not for the food, but for the building use.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, so about a year ago, the board approved a rate structure for the building use, and we had 3 different organizations approach us about using the building and the building or the fields. And there was some concern in the public, or the individual approaching us about what the pricing, and it increased fairly significantly. So we talked about that and looked at the pricing, and I responded to them about, you know, what was acceptable. And I've heard back from 3 out of 4 who have accepted a lower rate or would be for 1 year and look at an implementation going back. Dr. Semmel asked me to look at going out and seeing what other communities are charging, because it's somewhat problematic. Where some of the structures are, some of the prices are. And there's some concern about different people in the community. You may have heard some feedback or not, I'm not sure, but myself and Robin have been dealing with the different individuals.
Right, so we'd like to come back with taking a look at a different values, because now that Ron's actually using the values that were adopted by the board, those costs, some of them are like astronomical, I would say, and we really need to look at something that's reasonable, that covers our costs, covers wear and tear on our buildings, but at the same time still makes them affordable to be used. So that's why we want to take a look at this. Otherwise, if we stay with the rate structure that was adopted, I can't see reasonable people wanting to rent our space, and we really want to make sure that it's still available for the public to at least take advantage of.
Correct. You know, trying to balance between getting something and, you know, we talked about where we reinvest those funds for using the gymnasium or the fields and so forth, versus people just saying, well, I can't use your building, I can't use your facility. And they're here for the communities, but there's a happy medium somewhere, I'm sure.
Yep.
Any questions?
I'd appreciate it. I got beat.
Did you? Okay.
Well, not beat up, but there's a lot of questions thrown at me. Want to know why? Because of my other hat that I wear in town.
Yep.
So.
I think when we adopted those as a board, we weren't able to, you know, there wasn't any request to use it. When we started to actually figure out the actual totals, it was like, wow, that's very expensive.
Well, no, I get
So,
it, you know.
yeah.
I just explained to them, you know, call the governor, tell him to send us more money.
Yeah, that's right.
And we can,
then we can do
we
it.
can curtail some of these costs, you know, like I told them, there's certain things that slide down and then you hit the bottom, and that's where we are. So.
Anything else?
All right, so I was going to also ask Ms. Parsons to talk about a couple of items, so I'll turn it over to her.
Sure, I just wanted to let everybody know that we're wrapping up our state testing in terms of the NGSS testing and the Smarter Balance and SAT is long gone now. I'm sure it's a distant memory for our high school students. We'll actually be getting those scores back in a couple weeks. But by next week, we should be wrapped up with the majority of testing, and then we'll be doing makeups for a few additional days. But everything needs to be submitted to the state by May 25th, so we're at the tail end of that. Additionally, this week we have sent out a request for nominations for Teacher of the Year for 2019. And so we're looking for the community, teachers, staff, parents to recommend our nominees for Teacher of the Year. And then we need those in by the beginning of the day on Monday, because Monday will invite anyone who's nominated to apply. And there's an application process where teachers need to submit some written work and then participate in an interview. And the committee, which is made up of the past Teachers of the Year and myself, including union representation amongst that, will meet and select the Teacher of the Year, and we'll be awarding them at our next Board of Ed meeting. So there should be cake again. And lastly, kindergarten registration is going on. We'll be inviting incoming kindergartners into the schools in the beginning of June. So if you have a child who was born in 2013, those are our new kindergartners. And we will please go to the district website or call the 2 elementary schools to register your student for kindergarten, because that helps us plan sections and it allows the students to come in and visit their schools and see their teachers. And it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for them. So make sure you register them sooner rather than later.
Thank you. And then Mr. Trudeau, you're going to talk quickly about Chromebooks.
Yeah, just the usual. We're headed towards the end of the year, and we're getting ready now for the collection of the Chromebooks. When we take them back, inspect all of them, keyboards, screens, and so on. I might make a note to parents at this point, if you get the chance, look over your child's Chromebook, and if you see any damage or whatever, now would be a good time. It would be helpful, especially if you had insurance. We try to get ahead and make sure everything's running perfect for your child. And the time frames we're looking at, the high school, in between exams, students still use those for exams, and we're nailing down the times with Ms. Suffrage, and hopefully we'll have that in the next week or so.
Great. And then just some quick things for myself. Just a reminder that there still needs to be a tri-board meeting. That tri-board meeting is between the Board of Education, the Town Council, and the Board of Finance. We thought they were going to choose a couple of days. They were starting to mess around with one. I think we even got an email from Pat today about May 31st. That may not be something that actually works for the Town Council to have a quorum, or there might have been an individual who couldn't make it, something like that. So we are looking for that meeting. It's at that meeting where the Board of Finance makes a final recommendation to the Town Council for a budget. And they ask that the Board of Education be there and attempt to have a quorum as well.
We have to have a quorum. It's not a temp. So everybody has to go. Yeah. Just saying.
The charter seems to be a little bit vague about that, but it is best to have, if you really want to have representation on that, at that meeting, you should have a quorum.
And they do ask for our quorum,
Yeah.
so let's just be safe than sorry. I'd rather have the quorum there.
I agree. That would be the best way to be represented.
Yep.
So that might take place May 31st. We're going to have to try to nail down a date with them and also work with you folks to make sure we can make that work. But and kind of on a final piece, I see that the House and Senate at the state they're stating that they have a bipartisan agreement for the budget for next year. I didn't get a chance to see any details. They say they're supposed to be working out details soon. So we'll see where that goes. But they seem to make some positive comments around educational funding. But until the ink is dry, I don't know really what that means until we get a chance to analyze that. But that's the end of my update.
Any questions for anybody that made any comments? Okay, let's move on. Student reps. Miss Amy.
Our seniors and members of the FBLA went to a financial reality trip, and it was actually really cool. It was really eye-opening. Bree and I and another student were roommates, so we had to kind of like work together to figure out what plans we wanted, like what we wanted for furniture and every like little thing that came with our apartment. We ended up having to go back. Bree and our other roommate were very negative, so
I was like $50 negative.
okay, the other one was very negative. So we all got part-time jobs, and to start off, we were given the career that we want in the future, and we had set a goal of how much money we wanted in our pocket, and I actually came really close to mine, so I was pretty happy with that. So it kind of wakes you up, and it's like, all right, I'm really gonna have to do this later in life, so that was really cool. On the same day, students went to Cheshire High School for a leadership conference, and I went last year, Diane also went last year, and it was actually really, I loved it. It was so much fun, and it sounded like they had even more fun than we did last year. The speakers that they had were really inspiring, really eye-opening. They were able to meet a bunch of new students from a bunch of different schools, and they did different activities with them, like team building, just to show like their own leadership skills, which was really cool. The PTSA is holding their annual Mother's Day flower sale on May 12th from 9 to 3 on the Plymouth Green. And this is just everyone come out, support your mothers, buy some nice flowers. And then we are wrapping up towards the end of the year. We have a whole bunch of senior activities coming up. We're all pretty excited about it. We have our prom on May 19th. Our senior trip to Holiday Hill is May 25th. We're getting our yearbooks, selling of grad tickets, our senior dinner. It's all on June 18th. We have grad rehearsal and our elementary walk on June 19th. Our actual graduation on June 20th, and then our after grad that night into the next morning, which is really cool. We're all really excited. All the seniors are really excited. We're all sad, but we're excited. I'm not saying we are. And then on May 2nd, our foods classes went to the Lyceum and had a tea and breakfast with the senior citizens in our community. And they made a bunch of baked goods, and it was really a really good experience to tie in the different ages in our communities, because not a lot of towns get to do that. There's not a lot of opportunities to do that. So our foods classes were really excited, and they really had a good time at this event.
Any questions or comments? Okay, Ms. Bree.
All right. So our band and chorus had their concert this past Monday. Mr. Keene recognized the seniors for their last concert, and they are going to be further recognized at their senior dinner on May 21st at Panucci's. The concert ran very smoothly, and it was a night for them to remember since it was their last senior concert. Sports recap. Our softball team is in a pretty good spot for making the state tournament. They only need 4 more wins to secure their spot. They had multiple games this week. The girls will also be having a night game at Main Street on May 18th, and they really want to draw a huge crowd, so please come out and support them. Our track has had multiple individuals and relay teams qualify for Berks. The boys 4x8 and 4x1 relay. The girls 4x1 and 200 and 300 hurdles and high jump. Our track athletes are working hard and meeting personal best, which will hopefully lead to qualifications in states. Our baseball team is also in a good spot for making the state tournament. They have a home game against Ottawa, which is they're very pumped for because they have a good chance of winning. And our golf team, we have Mikey Hills, who had a personal best match score yesterday of 39, so that's pretty impressive. And our pep rally. So on May 18th, the day before prom, we're having a pep rally. It's our spring pep rally. And this is our first time doing one. And this is a special pep rally because upperclassmen are wearing their college shirts, which are they are attending. And our underclassmen, they could, if they know what school they are dreaming to go to, they can wear one, or they can do sports. So any sports jerseys. And I'm pretty sure the staff is wearing their college shirts too. So
that's cool.
It was really cute. It's me sad, but.
It's bittersweet, girls.
Yes.
Any questions or comments for Bree? Hey, Miss Diane.
You're probably sick of hearing from me by now. It's like my fourth time. So back in April, a group of our juniors and seniors participated in an academic quiz bowl, and I think 6 of them, and we actually got second place, and we just want to congratulate them because they did an awesome job, and this is actually the first time we've done it in a whole bunch of years, and so us going back and then winning second is pretty cool, and so Miss D was the one that ran it, and so I think she's already prepping for next year, looking at her prospect kids. Also, after break, THS hosted our annual career fair, and we were able to have even more and more unique and interesting careers participate, and it even was more interactive for students. They were able to ask them questions that they'd written, and everyone seemed really into it, and especially because we even had a group of our kids whose either parents or things that they already worked in were able to be behind the booths too, and so they had more of a one-on-one that they could talk to. And the fair was geared mostly towards sophomores and juniors, but everyone from all grades attended. And we even brought up our 8th grade class, which is kind of cool because it not only did it show them a bunch of different possible careers in the future, but it also kind of introduced them to the high school a little earlier. So this past Friday, on May 4th, we held our annual mock DUI. So basically, the local prevention council puts on a mock car crash for the senior class, and some of the seniors were actually the actors in it. Amy died.
You did?
It was
so sad.
Oh, it was so sad. You don't understand. We were watching and then we were just looking. I'm like, oh my god. And then my friend Jack got pulled by and he was dead. I was like, oh my god. And this is like the 3rd time I've seen it, and it just really hit somewhere. I was like, I don't like this. But we have the local police, fire, and ambulance corps react as if it were a real car crash and real reaction time, and they extracted the people in the car while everyone watches. And it's done right back there in front of the track and field. And then afterwards, the seniors go and they have a conversation about distracted driving and driving under the influence. And every year, it's really impactful to those watching and those a part of it, and this year was really no exception. And beyond the fact that it shows students a reality of crashes they might not have previously known, it's significant in that it starts a conversation between the staff, students, and their peers about drugs, alcohol, and distracted driving in general. So it was really successful, and we have a whole bunch of pictures. There will be a video when I finish it. There will be a video. So it was really, so it went really well. We are actually in the midst of AP exams right now. These two took AP English today. The Monday, they took AP Psychology. Friday, we're taking U.S. History. Monday, it's AP Biology. Tuesday is AP Calculus. Wednesday is AP Lang. And then Thursday is AP Stats. So it's a little packed for the next week. But classes have been doing review sections, and hopefully everyone will succeed. And we're wishing everybody who had taken it luck, and who will take it more luck. And everyone's going to hear their scores on July 5th. So everyone can be chilling on the beach when we all get our fives.
Very optimistic. Good thing. Any questions? Oh, I'm sorry. Wow.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
I'll just sit back.
This coming Sunday, on the same day that they're selling the flowers, the Lions are hosting their annual Mother's Day breakfast at the Lyceum from 8 to 12.
Yes.
8 to 12, that's what I thought. That's what it said. I wasn't sure if it was earlier or later. And it is on Mother's Day. So we encourage all families to bring your mom for an awesome breakfast served by your favorite Leos. Your Leo of the year is so now you have to go. Okay. And finally, this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. So we just wanted to take time to thank our staff, teachers, and all those involved in our education, which is all you guys, for going above and beyond to ensure our success. We truly wouldn't be able to do anything without you. And on my paper, I wrote a little heart.
We'll just do this. Any questions or comments now?
I just have a comment about the mock DUI. Some of you may know me. My name is Chris Tompkins. I'm a member of the Territorial Volunteer Fire Department. On behalf of my guys, they said they absolutely had a great time. They're really looking forward to doing it again next year. I would like to thank our training officer, I should say, Scott Holton, for putting it on for the students. I think it really gives them an idea of reality, what could happen if this was a real mock DUI. And for the kids that were inside, give them a feel of how it is to be extricated out of the vehicle. So.
Great. Thank you, Chris.
And also just a note on that, for the Local Prevention Council, the grant, the kind of state grant that we get for our tenure does end, I think, in the fall.
September 30th, yeah.
He knows the date.
Yeah.
But the mock DUI will continue, and it is a self-sustaining thing.
Yep.
Just so you know, the car is actually still out there if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah,
it's up on
pretty
the.
torn up. I also have a lot of pictures.
I also still have some fake blood on me.
I was
still have to come off.
Yeah.
It really stinks.
I was very covered.
Yuck.
I'm very stained.
Thank you, girls. Okay, public comment. Going once, going twice. All right, moving on. Let's go right to consent agenda. Can I have a motion? What? Oh, I do that. Why do I do that every time? Unfinished business, there's none.
Okay.
So let's move on to consent agenda. I think we should just take that off.
I
we
move
don't
to
have
approve
any.
the consent agenda. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Yeah, let's take it off the agenda.
Yep.
New business. Okay, before we start new business, ladies, I'm going to let you leave now if you want. I know you guys have studying to do. So, and this is a longer part, unless you want to stay, because I know Diana likes to say things, but.
Right, your choice.
Yeah, your choice. Please feel free to leave if you want, okay?
Thank you.
We want those good scores on the AP test, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
So the first thing under the new business is policy 7000 series, which is under construction. So this was a first read. You should have found the 7000 series in your packet. So as you remember, when we do any policy work, it needs 2 reads before you can vote on it. So there's no vote on either of these tonight, but I would anticipate a vote coming in June. So in terms of the 7000s, I wasn't sure if there was any questions. I didn't receive any yet, but if there's something that needs to be talked about.
I just looked at it today. Well, not today, Monday.
Yeah.
Just policy number 7530.
7530.
Yep. Has to do with the acceptance.
Yep.
I was just wondering why the community members shall be given an orientation tour of the facilities, why that was taken out.
I don't know if, Melissa, you want to field that if you want me to, or we can get back to him. I think I remember our conversation, but.
Yeah, our conversation. So our conversation was around safety.
Yeah.
And a concern that the way that it was worded, it makes it a requirement if we make changes to facilities or open up new facilities. We wanted to be able to really have some control over that so that there wouldn't be any safety issues.
Right.
But the only concern that I have is that this sounds like once let's say this building is being accepted from the building committee, okay, you get your CO and everything, now you have a ribbon cutting ceremony, and then people would come and they wouldn't be able to look at the facility?
This doesn't preclude that. The sentence we took out was we didn't want to be required to do it, just because not every situation is the same, and depending on what we're doing, we didn't want to require the board to have to allow the tour. So depending on the situation, it doesn't stop us from doing a tour. It doesn't say we will not do tours. So.
Yeah, because the only concern I have is that if you did a ribbon cutting ceremony and then didn't allow the public to come in, the perception from the public is that, it's my tax dollars, why can't I go in?
Yeah.
And then, doesn't bode well with, with the public when they can't go in. So I just needed a clarification of why that was kind of taken out.
Yep.
That was the only thing I had with that.
They may be given orientation.
Right, and with the sentence not being there, the may is implied that we could. We actually gave a tour of the new central office area to folks who wanted it. If you recall, we actually had I forget which, but we had a board meeting and we actually took interested people through that area. So we're certainly not closed to offering people, the public a chance.
It's just the perception with that sentence being taken out and somebody sees it, it's like, from the public.
Yeah.
So if I authorize the building, with tax dollars, and now you cut the ribbon and tell me to go bye-bye.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that's
just
fair.
write the check.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, if this was kept the way it's written now, when it comes back officially, that sentence won't exist anymore. So people won't see that it's like crossed off. You know what I mean? Because I think right now you're reading it and it's like there and it's got a line through it, so it makes it look like we're taking away the ability to. So.
Well, I just wanted clarification of why. That's
okay.
Not that I, didn't want anybody to get the perception that we're going to let anybody into the new building. It's just that what was the reasoning behind taking it out.
And did we answer that question for you?
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions on the 7,000?
7552, we had discussed the plaques and who's going to appear on a plaque.
Yep.
And it's been ready. We added a fourth, putting the names of the building committee members.
Yep.
And eliminating, if it looks like, the members in order of numbers of years on the board. So the board members in order of their numbers, which I think was a pretty good idea. Obviously, the building committees had firsthand knowledge and ought to be on it. But then the names of superintendent, names of architect, names of contractor.
And what I did, because at the policy meeting, we weren't sure what currently existed, so I said to the group that I would go out and look to see what's currently exists. So I rewrote this in a way that captures all the current, and every one of them has building committee members, and yet the policy itself didn't have building committee members, so that's why I put that on there. This doesn't stop you from adding additional names, because each plaque is very different. Some have the clerk of the works, some have the business manager. So there's definitely variation, but they were all consistent that they all had these. So this would be consistent with your current practice. And current practice also with board members is it's alphabetical, not by order of years. So to be consistent, we could do that. We could do whatever the board pleases on this. Yeah, Karen's looking for. The thing is, we probably won't be doing a whole lot of construction anytime soon. So this is like.
Oh well.
After an art term.
But that was something that came up. Any other issues or questions on 7,000 series? You can you don't give up the right to ask more questions between now and the June board meeting, but because that way you have a better chance to read them. But if you do have a question, I'd ask that you send me the questions. I can send them out to the policy subcommittee, which is doing a little bit of a dance right now because this is the last full series to complete. So there's a bit of a happy dance going around these series. So if there's nothing else on that one, then there's also a first read on a regulation 4112.4. I treated this differently than the 7,000s, obviously, because it's in the 4,000 series. So I wasn't sure if anybody had any questions on this one at this point. Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
What's that?
I like it the way it came out.
Yep.
Thank you. Should I go for a second read?
So these are both first reads, so in June they'll come both back to you for a second read and possible adoption.
So I just want to mention, especially for the newer members, so the policy committee is considered ad hoc. It's been running for 3 years, but after this next meeting, it's actually going to dwindle down, and the only time they're really going to meet is if individual pieces or policies are going to be looked at. It's like every 3 years you have to do everything, but we kind of went from the beginning to the end, so it's kind of winding down. That's why everybody's doing the happy dance on that committee. So just want to let everybody know that, and the public to know that. So. All right.
So the next one we're going to ask Mr. Melnick to talk about. It actually has, it's more food discussion, so.
It's under the healthy food authorization. There's a form in your packet. It's really just a transition from Mr. Penn, your prior business manager, to be able to sign off on a monthly basis for the claim for the healthy food authorization where we get 10 cents per meal that the board agreed to participate in for the upcoming year. So we just need a motion so that we can send the motion on to the State Department of Administrative Services to show the transition here.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the resolution Board of Education Secretary to execute the authorized signatures change form with revisions pertaining to the EDO 99 agreement to the Child Nutrition Program.
Second. Melissa, any questions, comments, or concerns?
Quick question.
Sure.
All this does is gives you the same power Mr. Penn had before?
That's right.
All right, that's all.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you very much. Okay. We're going to go on to committee reports. Finance and operations, Karen.
The Finance Operations Subcommittee met prior to the board meeting and reviewed the accounts by facilities report for the month of April, and that report will be forwarded to the Lieutenant Board of Finance. And further, I need to make a motion so that we can discuss it. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the Plymouth Board of Education to request to transfer $17,302.15 from the non-lapsing capital reserve sinking fund in accordance with our current agreement with the Board of Finance and Connecticut General Statute Section 10-248 for the following item. $17,302.15 to repair sidewalks at Perryville High School.
No second needed. Any discussions, comments, or concerns?
When is this going to be done?
Has to be done by the 30th of September, correct?
No, that's different. That was
Oh, that's the other piece? Oh,
graduation.
my goodness.
Yes.
This part we want to be done before graduation.
That's right.
Well, I'm just inquiring because I usually work the elections up here.
Oh, it'll be
Yeah,
done.
we have a lot of
It'll be
problems.
done. Yeah, it'll be prior to that, yep.
Yeah, that's why we want to get it done. It's continued to deteriorate, and we want to get it done.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. We're all set. Once we get the approvals, we already have people lined up ready to get this done.
Beautiful.
Anything else? Okay, I'm going to call for all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you so much. Okay, student achievement.
Hi. The Student Achievement Subcommittee met on April 5th, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. in the conference room at Central Office and discussed the following items. Professional Learning Plan for 2018-2019, Assessment Overview, Overview of the District Data Team, and Instructional Rounds and Yearly Outlines for future topics. The next Student Achievement Subcommittee would take place on June 7th, 2018 at 6:30 in the conference room at Central Office. The committee will be reviewing a proposed textbook for the new AP Government class. This text is available for review by contacting Jen at Central Office through June 10th, 2018. After review, the subcommittee recommendations will be brought to the full board on June 13th for approval.
Any questions, comments? Okay, moving forward, policy.
The Policy Subcommittee met on April 2nd, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. in the conference room at Central Office and reviewed Policy Series 7000, Instruction and Regulation, 4112.4, Practice and Procedure, which were included in board member packets for first read.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? All right, negotiations, there's no report yet, so soon, right? Okay. All right, public comment, second one. That's the last one. All right, moving on. Okay, board liaisons. Melissa.
Fisher just finished their Spirit Wear sales. They are about to begin their buy one, get one book fair. And Field Day shirts will be going on sale. Their next PTA meeting is Tuesday, May 15th, and they are looking for a secretary for the 2018-2019 school year.
Okay, great. Any questions? Comments? Okay, who's doing from the center? Cindy? Okay.
Yeah. So they just finished up their can recycling, which they got a lot of cans for that, and they're working on the numbers right now. They had Texas Roadhouse come in to do a talk about how they fundraise and all the different things that they offer, which was a lot of things that they offer. So if anyone needs a fundraiser idea, contact Texas Roadhouse. Teacher Appreciation Week this week, they did a breakfast for the teachers on Wednesday, and that was going over really well. A lot of year-end of stuff going on over there, a lot of field trips, a lot of kindergarten celebrations, really long list of stuff that they're doing over there, so everything's going really good.
Any questions, comments? Texas Roadhouse does a lot for like Autism Speaks too, so they are really good if anybody's interested in fundraising. They do a lot.
Yeah, they're going to do a family feast there on June 19th, so it's the day before the last day of school, so anyone that wants to go there, just let them know that
in the school.
They're from this town. Yeah.
Okay. Who's doing Eli?
I will always defer to our all-star of Eli Terry.
Okay.
So, well, we got, which I am so glad about, the balloons. I saw that you just signed off on it today. So this is going to be a really fun fundraiser, and we're going to make sure that every student, even if they don't participate, will have a balloon on their mailbox when they wake up for 8th grade. So this is what the balloon will look like. It's going to be red with the logo on it. And it's going to be $5, and that includes the delivery. And it's Mylar, so no latex allergies. And so this will be going out from now until the end of the year to try and get people to buy the balloons. So that's going to be really fun. Teacher Appreciation Day, we treated it to all staff. I had a ring security system that came in for our quarter auction too late, so we were able to auction that off, and a para won it. It was like almost a $200 item, and she's actually getting married this month too, so she's like having an awesome month. We ordered moles for them for lunch on Tuesday, and they all enjoyed that. We are looking into a new mascot. Our mascot lost a tooth, and he's really old, and so we really need a new bulldog mascot. So we're pushing for that, so this way we'll have him for the beginning of the year. And our fundraiser that's out now is a spring fundraiser. I'm not a catalog orderer, but this catalog is actually kind of decent, and we're going to try and focus the money on that to start clubs next year, to have the funding for like chess club and the cooking club and like all like the little clubs that you need to pay for all those supplies. So Ms. Suffrage is really excited about that, so we're going to ask the students what kind of clubs they would like to see for next year. So we're doing a lot of planning ahead for next year. And that's pretty much it. A lot of year-end of stuff too, dances and stuff.
Graduation. Well,
Graduation.
Not graduation.
Promotion.
I made sure I worded it right in here.
Any questions or comments? Okay. Karen?
Yes, the Terryville High School PTSA actually met tonight, and they started their meeting at 6:30. That's why you saw me walking in at the very last second, and it went on for a lot longer than I was there. I didn't get to see much, but they were talking about the after grad party and kind of going through some details about what kinds of things they wanted to offer to our students, and talked briefly about getting some volunteers to chaperone. I took that as my cue to leave, and I came down here. So yeah, I got out of that one. So thank you for having me here. But yeah, I know that they did a fabulous job fundraising this year, and they will be able to fully fund all of our seniors who would like to join at the after prom party. It's at a great sports center. They have laser tag and ice skating and inflatable stuff, I think, and all kinds of amazing things. They have a grill open for them to eat when they get there, and ice cream, and just a wonderful, safe place for them to go to celebrate their graduation and have the one last hurrah together.
Any questions? They also have their flower sale.
Oh yes, their flower
Amy
sale.
said it,
Amy
but
mentioned their
yeah.
flower sale on Saturday and the Plymouth
Go
Green.
out and put
Yeah.
on flowers. Okay, Mr. Foote, would you like to do something?
Yeah, I attended the autism program sponsored by SEPTA 2 weeks ago. I was very impressed. I was in the auditorium here, and they had 7 or 8 students up on the stage. I'm afraid my perception of autism is that of Dustin Hoffman back in the Rain Man movie, and I had 2 kids way back in Watertown 100 years ago that were autistic, and to see these kids, it's changed my view of what can be done. I was very impressed.
Do you want to say anything else?
The only other thing I have to add is we have 2 meetings next week. We have a morning meeting on the 16th that will be at Lucky Cup at 9:30, and our evening meeting will be at Eli Terry in the library at 7 p.m.
Same day? Wednesday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Morning meeting is Wednesday, evening meeting is Thursday.
Any questions or comments? Would you like to say anything?
I was able to see that presentation when it came in a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and I love the fact that they were back and different students, and you had a chance to see it again. And as I think the saying goes, when you've met one child with autism, you've met one child with autism.
Yeah.
And it's true. Everyone, all of us have these different gifts, and so do they, just like all of us. It was a great program. I wish more people attended. You guys did a very good job advertising it to people. You certainly got the word out. I wish people said, took the effort to go out and see that.
I did count that we had almost 50.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't look it because it was in the auditorium, but I did count. It was almost 50. I counted.
That many?
So that's good. It was just, to open other people's eyes to what that's all about, and to learn more about folks who do have autism.
Agreed. Jerry, do you have anything?
Kate, unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the last meeting. It was basically a budget. They were gonna present their budget for this year. And our final budget is going on is next month. But there was a flyer in the board packet, and I called Pat, so I'll be going to the state legislature building next week to hear on what's going on with education funding, mandates, task forces, and legal updates. And that'll be put on by Patrice McCarthy, Sheila McKay, and Rebecca Adams, who are all the staff attorneys for CAVE. So that should be interesting, especially with supposedly the legislature today, passing a so-called budget. I know the caveat with that I saw prior to coming to the board board meeting was that the governor did authorize the governor to allocate, well not allocate, but in his mind would like to cut $200 million from the budget. That's his ceiling for this year. So hopefully he doesn't do what he did last year and just indiscriminately pick out 75 towns and said, sorry, you're getting away. No, your funding is being decreased. So, but the good thing about it is that I think last year was like $800 million. This year they only gave him $200 million. So,
Only.
Wow.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I got an invite in the mail to the same thing that Jerry's going to, and I was going to sign up, and then when I got to the website, it asked me for my credit card, and I missed the fine print that it was $60.
You don't have to do that.
But that's something, you guys have a line item in the budget for professional development. So when those things come up like that, like Jerry did, you can talk to Pat, we can sign you up. And cover,
you guys about it later?
yeah, and cover the costs, yeah. You guys do not spend a tremendous amount of money on professional development. There's money in the line item to take care of things like those pieces.
Okay.
Does he want to go?
So if you want to go, just reach out to Pat.
I will.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anything else? Jerry, you're good, right?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay,
just reading the fine print because the fine print that I got was like
very fine.
free. No, the fine print I got was free. Why they tried to charge him $60?
Just saying
That is not
You know,
free, if you look in there.
No.
Yeah, I think there's a cost to it.
Yeah.
Well, it says that if
It
you're a Cave Express member, it's free.
Wow.
If you're a Cave member district, it's $60 per person. But if you don't go, there is a charge if you don't show up for the meeting. And you have a certain amount of time to cancel. That's why I'm reading it, trying to figure out why they charging them $60. So.
Okay, final board comments. Anybody? Nobody? Okay, I have a few. I just, again, want to congratulate Tammy, Darlene, Connor, and Phyllis on their 212 award. Congratulations. Again to Diana for Leo of the Year. And then the only other comment I have is you all got an updated subcommittee list. Please look it over. There has been a few changes. Now that we have 2 new board members, I changed up a little bit. We were kind of stressed about how many people we had, but now we have more people to move around. So just check out your committees, what you're doing, what you're on. This is effective immediately. So if you have any questions, just please come up to me and talk to me about it. And now nobody else has anything, right? I just want to move on. I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, so the next board meeting is here at the high school on June 13th at 7 o'clock. Which is nice because last year we had to change it because of graduation. We're not changing. So we're going to be going into executive session, but we're going to have a lot of reading prior to going into executive session.
Not prior. Well, yeah,
Yes.
to make the motion. But
Yep.
just as a reminder to people, and we make this caveat. Sometimes when we go into executive session, there's no anticipation that there's going to be action by the board. But tonight there is possible action. So. In terms of the people who are viewing, the cameras will go dead for some period of time. And when the board resumes, and we don't know how long that will be, there will be some possible action for our agenda. So just to our viewing audience, they just have to bear with us.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to enter into executive session at 8:43 p.m. to discuss the following. Pending litigation, Warhunski Transportation, LLC versus Plymouth Board of Education. Collective bargaining issues pertaining to memorandums of agreement with respect to the insurance carrier and a personnel matter. Superintendent's annual review. The following individuals are invited into executive session. Dr. Semmel, Superintendent, Mr. Melnick, Interim Business Manager, and Attorney Lorianne Alskloff, I'm sorry if I just messed up that name terribly, of Shipman and Goodwin.
Okay.
Second.
Melissa? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Motion to resume regular scheduled meeting at 10:31.
So moved.
Melissa?
Second.
Karen? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, possible action from executive session.
That says execution session, I didn't notice that.
Is it true?
Just delightful.
Oh, God.
Thank you very much.
That was a Freudian slip.
Are you ready? Yeah. Moved that the board approve the proposed memorandum of agreement between the board and the Plymouth Education Association regarding changing the health and dental insurance plans to the State Partnership Plan 2.0 effective July 1st, 2018, and moved further that the board chair be authorized to execute such memorandum of agreement on behalf of the board.
Motion from Karen, second.
Second.
Dick? I need a roll call vote. Josiah?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Cindy?
Aye.
Michelle?
Aye.
Karen?
Aye.
Greg?
Aye.
Jerry?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
All right, the ayes have it. Thank you.
Moved that the board approve the proposed memorandum of agreement between the board and the Plymouth School Administrators Association regarding changing the health and dental insurance plans to the State Partnership Plan 2.0 effective July 1st, 2018, and moved further that the board chair be authorized to execute such memorandum of agreement on behalf of the board.
Motion by Karen.
Second.
Greg. Roll call vote. Greg.
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Dick.
Yes.
Karen.
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Cindy.
Yes.
Melissa.
Yes.
Diane? The ayes have it.
Moved that the board approve the proposed memorandum of agreement between the board and the Plymouth School Nurses Association regarding changing the health and dental insurance plans to the State Partnership Plan 2.0 effective July 1st, 2018, and moved further that the board chair be authorized to execute such memorandum of agreement on behalf of the board.
Motion by Karen. Second.
Second.
Michelle. Roll call vote. Josiah.
Yes.
Melissa.
Aye.
Cindy.
Yes.
Michelle. Karen?
Yes.
Greg.
Yes. Yes.
Jerry. Dick.
Yes.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Moved that the board approve the proposed memorandum of agreement between the board and the UAW Local 376 regarding changing the health and dental insurance plans to the State Partnership Plan 2.0 effective July 1st, 2018, and moved further that the board chair be authorized to execute such memorandum of agreement on behalf of the board.
Motion by Karen. Second.
Second.
Dick. Roll call vote. Greg.
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Dick.
Yes.
Karen.
Yes.
Michelle. Cindy.
Yes.
Melissa.
Yes.
Josiah.
Yes.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Almost there, guys.
Moved that the board change the health and dental insurance plans offered by the board to the State Partnership Plan 2.0 effective July 1st, 2018, subject to the terms and conditions of the State Partnership Plan 2.0.
Motion by Karen. Second.
Second.
Melissa. Roll call vote. Josiah.
Yes.
Melissa.
Yes.
Cindy.
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
Karen.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Dick. The ayes have it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is 10:37.